Groovy, motherfucker.
Groovy, man. How are you?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Well, we got week 3 of March Madness, dude. Week 3? Yeah. So we'll be doing kicking it off with the Babadook, man. One I've been wanting to review for a while.
Dookie.
One of my brother Evan's actual favorite movies, and yeah, when to kick week 3 off, man, we got us a special guest back in the chat. I feel like it's been a while, man, but we got him. Rockin' Robbie.
Station pop, boom. If you ain't down with PCPX, suck it, all that shit. It's week 4, Dylan.
I was gonna say I thought I had 5.
We got 5 shows. Me and you both got 5 shows this year, so we get to do a grand finale next week, man.
Yeah,
because that's great movies to talk
Jacob's
about.
Ladder, Magic and Bliss. Okay, yeah, week 4.
So super excited to be here to talk about the Babadookie. Let's do it.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Let me see, before we dive into the Babadook, let me see, I'm sure we got maybe just a little bit of horror news. I wanna definitely start off because we finally got a little teaser trailer to the Toxic Avenger, which I don't know if you got to see that, Robbie. I know Scarlett did because I sent it to him.
I didn't watch it, but I have seen the screen caps of Peter Dinklage. Is that his name? As Toxie. Looks cool. Yeah. I haven't seen the trailer though.
From what I hear too, it's very short.
Did you just stand up to change your camera angle so you could get your CRT back there? Is that what you
I've been having the CRT. I just noticed that
that's dope as hell.
I usually have it this way now that I got the TV set up.
And did you just say a movie with Peter Dinklage was pretty short? That's harsh, man.
Nobody said that.
How come you said it? Now, how come this guy's not in a tutu?
Unless
he's in a tutu, it don't count, man. I need a tutu. Pink tutu.
Hey, it's 2025 now, Scarpat. Times have changed. Men don't wear tutus anymore.
Hey,
one thing though, from what I heard,
that's great.
Why it didn't get bought by why I was having trouble going to being picked up or go to theaters is because it's supposed to be very gory, and they show one kill in the teaser and it looked pretty dope. So, and this Toxic Avenger looks like it's gonna maybe have it almost looks like he's gonna have some type of magic bass to him because his mop is like different. It looks like, I don't know, like it's on like a wand or something. Because so the only thing you see is him go in and he does a line, and he goes into like the burger joint, which they had a burger joint in the OG Toxic Avenger, and he goes in and his fucking mop is
It's
like,
a taco joint. Taco joint.
is it a taco joint? I thought it was burger, but whatever, this doesn't matter. But he basically just like literally swipes a dude's jaw just clean off, and
That's
the
what the
mop
dude
almost
says.
looks like he has a little
Shit,
fire.
man, I always wanted to bang me a blind bitch. That's movie.
Well, is it a taco joint in the OG one? I'm talking about in the new one. It looked like
It's probably a burger joint, I'm sure.
Well, nowadays, there's a lot of fusion restaurants. So there's like a taco burger joint. Like I got one, called Shaggy's Burgers and Taco. I feel like I need to put on a VHS in the background, man. I didn't know that's what we were doing now, Dylan. I didn't get that memo.
Yeah, you can,
I
bro.
hope he talks.
Starbat always forgets to.
I know I put a movie in there, but I could. Probably not.
Well, shit. All right.
Yeah, we just
Go
watched
ahead.
the original OG.
I just watched the
Toxic
Joe
Avenger.
Bob.
Man,
I missed it
that's a
because it
5-star
showed
one
down
every
at work.
day a week.
I've never seen the sequels, but I watched I've seen the original, obviously. And I just rewatched the Joe Bob version yesterday, right after work.
Yeah, we probably won't have as many titties in the new one as we had in the old one, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know.
It seems like you can have all the go in the world you want, but they don't do titties no more.
Yeah, that is true.
We just got done watching Popeye the Slayer Man. There wasn't one titty in the whole movie.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Disappointing.
It looks like Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise
You
may be
muted,
revving
muted.
up for a new installment soon. So it's now been 3 years since Netflix premiered Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a legacy sequel to Tobe Hooper's original horror classic that arrived February 18, 2022. Now fresh rumors have begun to swirl that the franchise may be revving back to life for a new installment. Deadline reports today that studios are knocking at Verve's door. The agency has repped the rights for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series since 2017. While nothing has been officially set in motion just yet, the names showing interest in the IP have intrigued us. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we get something. I did like the Netflix one. It wasn't the greatest, but I thought it was, a lot better than the 3D one. It wasn't terrible, but I hope. And there is a new Skarsgård movie coming out. The guy who played Bill Skarsgård, new movie coming out. It might have came out already. I'm not, but I know it's produced by Sam Raimi. What is it called again? Oh, it looks like that Popeye the Slayer Man did just come out too this week. It's called Locked. It's got Bill Skarsgård and Anthony Hopkins, and it's produced by Sam Raimi. It's basically like Bill Skarsgård is trying to rob cars, and he hops in this car and basically gets locked in by the owner, and it's some test that Anthony Hopkins is trying to run, and it's like this weird futuristic car, but it looked cool. Looked like a new, intriguing idea, and Sam Raimi produced it, so I'm always down for that.
That's cool. I'm still trying to figure out what source my TV needs to be on for my VCR.
And John Carpenter to receive his Hollywood Walk of Fame star in April. Hell yeah, baby. About fucking time. And in April though, I'll take that. Looks like Neon is putting out a new horror movie called Hell of a Summer in theaters April 4th. Doesn't say. Oh, that's the one that's written and directed by Finn Wolfhard and Billy Brick. So it's going to be Finn Wolfhard, the guy from Stranger Things. It's going to be his directorial
I saw that
debut.
trailer.
It looks good.
It looks good.
It looks good.
It looks really good.
It's crazy that it's going to be that Finn Wolfhard, and I'm guessing maybe it's his buddy, maybe a best friend or something. Him and his buddy, or him and this other kid, directed it and wrote it together. So yeah, finally John Carpenter gets this thing. But yeah, for the trailer, it looks good. So I'm definitely
don't forget about the fourth film in the Poohverse with Bambi.
okay. Yeah, and then Bambi got a teaser trailer, right? Or was it a full trailer?
It was a full trailer.
Okay, yeah, I have not watched it, but um,
I finally got my VCR TV connection.
nice. What'd you play?
It's Friday 13th.
Oh, sick, dude. Yeah, I'm so
OG.
close to finishing my Halloween collection. I'll show off my latest tape at the end of the show. So once I finish my Halloween collection, I'm debating on doing Nightmare next or Friday the 13th. I kind of want to do Night or Friday the 13th, but it's like all the Friday the 13th tapes are like 20 to 25, like every single one. They're like $20. So that one, that one, I might try to grab one here and there, but
I don't have the fancy CRTs like you.
I do have one Nightmare tape already. Yeah, I want to get another one made. A little Scarp had, he's got one that's a little bit bigger, and the stand just crumbled and almost fucking killed his cat. Thought you guys weren't coming on for a second stationary run. What up, Fable? No, we were bullshitting behind stage. We usually go 10:30 always, but we were bullshitting backstage. Yeah, I got Candyman, Farewell. So I bought a couple tapes, and this guy, he just threw in 2 loose tapes. Because he was like, oh, well, he's like, you because of the weight or whatever. He's like, so I'm throwing 2 loose tapes, so they don't have the case. They just are the tapes, and he threw in Candyman, Farewell to the Flesh. So I was like, I'm gonna throw that in. Plus, it kind of goes with the Babadook since it's like a book. Candyman is kind of like a boogeyman in his own.
Urban legend boogeyman.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But 27-inch CRT is heavy. I won't go. This one is 13. I want to get a 20-inch though, just because if this one ever broke, they're just getting harder and harder to get as time goes on. So I'd like to have a backup because I do have an extra VHS player too. Plus, playing games and shit on them too. But I guess because that new Snow White Disney movie came out, which is supposed to be fucking terrible, there's a post about revisiting the 1997 Snow White: A Tale of Terror that has Sigourney Weaver, which I never heard about, and it has why can't I think? He's in fucking movie we're doing next week, The Mouth of Madness. Sam Neill and Sigourney Weaver in it. I'll have to check that out. You ever heard of that one? Snow White: A Tale of Terror?
No. Oh, yes, I have.
Okay.
I've actually seen it. It's okay.
It's okay, I figured. Dangerous Animals trailer. Jai Courtney feeds humans to sharks and loved ones. Director movie. And, dude, this has been I've seen this picture for years. Warner Brothers sets new release date for Weapons, The Bride, Flower Vale Street. Weapons is directed by the guy who did Barbarian, which I've been hearing about that ever since Barbarian came out. And then The Bride is Maggie Gyllenhaal's Bride of Frankenstein or whatever with Christian Bale, which I feel like I've seen that photo of Christian Bale as Frankenstein for 4 years now. So looks like that comes out March 6, 2026. So it's like, Jesus, we gotta wait fucking another year. And Weapons is coming out August 8th, or has been bumped to August 8th, 2025, previously scheduled for January 16th of next year. But that looks good. This sounds good, at least. And Flower Vale Street is going to have Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor. So let me see. I think that's it. But yeah. Oh, and then there was a trailer for this movie, another Neon movie called Together with Allison Brie and Dave Franco. I did not watch the trailer, but it's supposed to be a romantic body horror.
That trailer looks good. I saw that.
I heard it looks good. I haven't watched.
I saw that trailer on Monkey. I think.
Oh, really?
It's where I saw the Finn Wolfguard one too. Did I like it? No.
You didn't like it? I liked it.
I think I would like it if I was drinking a lot of hard ciders with my homies.
I liked it. I wasn't that crazy about the ending, though.
It had some. It had. If I want to get critical about the Monkey, I think it's got tonal clash. I'm not sold on that director yet, but it does seem like a movie that if it was me and a bunch of friends hanging out, just having a good time, we would have a good time with that movie.
Right. Yeah, I had a blast with it. I definitely had a blast with it. Oh, and Cujo. Netflix has announced they're gonna do a new Cujo remake. So
Why?
Oh, dude, what's crazy is so there's a horror con in like outside of Knoxville, Tennessee, on my birthday weekend, right? Michael Berryman's going to be there. Rhonda Shear's going to be there. Joe Bob Briggs and Darcy are going to be there. I'm very excited to go. I got press badges. So, and it's my birthday, so I'm very excited. Kelly Maroney's going to be there. But they just announced special last minute guests, Dee Wallace and the kid from Cujo. I don't remember his name, but and he doesn't do many cons apparently. So it's going to be a really, really cool con.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're gonna do a Cujo remake, but that'll be sweet. That'll definitely be cool. I know Mike Flanagan, who's done a shit ton of awesome he's like the main man when it comes to Stephen King adaptations. I can't remember which one, but he was announced to do something. I can think of it off the top of my head, but it was like a short story or a story that I'd never heard of.
Really? I thought he was still developing Dark Tower.
But they just announced he was doing something else too.
Yeah, but you're right. He's like the king because he did Gerald's Game, right? And he did Doctor Sleep, right?
Yeah, he's done it. And do Gerald's Game, they always said could like never be The Life of Chuck. That's the one. So it says Mike Flanagan is currently working on 8-episode series for Amazon called Carrie. So they're doing a TV show for Carrie, which is very weird, but I think Mike Flanagan can pull it off because he is really good at TV. He does the Haunting of Hill House. He did House of Usher. That motherfucker kills it. I love all his Netflix TV shows, and that's the thing. His Netflix deal ended, and now he's doing TV for Amazon. So that would probably be the first. I'm guessing. Oh, he's doing Carrie, Dark Tower. Those are going to be 2 Amazon shows, which is better to do Dark Tower as a show, I'd say, since those are a bunch of books.
Oh, Dark Tower could go like 7-10 seasons if they did it right. But Carrie as a show is weird. That's interesting.
That is very weird. But I'm not going to talk bad because everything he's done so far, I've loved. And I know he's supposed to. Well, he was going to direct, I thought, but now he's just writing. He's doing a Clayman. He's writing a Clayman solo story for the DC. But I've never heard of.
He's pretty busy, man. He's like Guillermo del Toro. Some of these may not come out.
Right. I've never heard of The Life of Chuck either. But he fucking slays it, man. There's not a bad thing I don't think he's ever done. I guess The Life of Chuck is a drama film. So, but it is by Stephen King. It's based on a 2020 novella by Stephen King. I've never heard of that one, but yeah, I can't wait. But you got to think too, movies can only take like 2 months sometimes. They could film a movie in 2 months. Shows, I feel like, take a little bit longer. Also, though, it doesn't mean he's directing every episode, I guess, too. He's probably overseeing it, but I think he directs usually all his Netflix episodes, I want to say. So he probably is, but who knows? So yeah, definitely one always to keep an eye out for is Mike Flanagan. Especially, I love Stephen King shit. So, and nobody seems to really do Stephen King's stuff justice but him. Even though I did like The Monkey, I wasn't the ending I wasn't that crazy about though.
The only people that do Stephen King stuff great is Mike Flanagan, Frank Darabont, and George A. Romero.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. And who's the other one I was going to say? Rob Reiner.
Misery. Yeah.
Did he do? He didn't do Dolores Claiborne too, did he? Or is just Misery and Stand by Me?
Just Misery, and I guess I didn't realize he did Stand by Me, but that makes
I thought he did Stand by Me.
He did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Okay.
I just watched Stand by Me last night. Stand by Me is not actually one of my favorites, though. I do like it. I do like it, but everybody acts like it's like the greatest fucking movie
That
ever.
movie and Puppet Master together made me scared of leeches in my entire adult life.
It is a good movie, but I don't know. It's just not what
I thought you also would give a shout out to Mick Garris. I know you love his
I love
version of
him.
The Shining and The
Riding the Bullet.
Stand. Yeah.
Well, you know, to throw Mick Garris in there with Darabont and them, that's a little,
It's a little too much. You're right.
a little too much, you know. But I'll keep him mid tier. He's mid tier Stephen King for me because I love like his Riding the Bullet and all that. But yeah, I can't put him up there with fucking Darabont and Rob Reiner. You know what I mean? Those guys are fucking legends. But yeah. So let's dive into some Babadook. So this movie came out in 2014, directed and written by Jennifer Kent, who I guess did a lot. Was originally trying to be an actress, and she did a few movies. She did a few things. Not really much. I think it was more like Australian stuff. But I guess she, from what Joe Bob said, is that she was like a year ahead in her like acting school from the main girl in this, Essie Davis, and Essie Davis, I guess, like idolized the director, and maybe they, you know, I don't know if they were good friends or not, but yeah. So I guess the director Jennifer was having issues, you know, not getting a lot of great parts and just doing, you know, some TV stuff, and she saw some of what the fuck was his name? The guy who did that movie Dogville. Lars von Trier. She got like invited to work on one of his sets, and I guess after that she kind of fell in love with directing, and you know, wanted to become a director after working on the set with Lars von Trier, which I'm not really big on his stuff. I know his last movie that he did. Are you familiar with
I've
von
heard of
Trier?
him. He's like a Norwegian filmper or something like
I
that.
think
But
so, yeah.
yeah, but I don't think I've ever seen any of his movies.
Didn't
Yeah.
he make Drugstore Cowboy?
I know he did that house that Jack built. I don't think he did drugs. I think Drugstore Cowboy is somebody else. Yeah, no, I don't see Drugstore Cowboy on here. The house that Jack built, though, I saw, and I guess Dogville is supposed to be a big one. I want to say Drugstore Cowboy is Gus Van Sant.
Oh, Gus Van Sant. I knew it was a three-name.
I actually have that one on VHS. I found that at the fucking Savers. I love that movie. But yeah, so, and actually originally, man, The Babadook was like one of the first movies that kind of got that label of, oh my god, wow,
Elevated horror.
elevated horror. Thank you, man. So because this isn't, I almost thought this was A24, but it's not. This was premiered at like the
IFC, I think.
Yeah. And yeah, because I think there's a cheap Blu-ray of this from IFC, and I think it's Shout Factory and IFC. But yeah, this was one of the first movies to get hit with that elevated horror tag. And yeah, this is one of those movies that even like, you know, me and Scarpat, we watched the Joe Bob episode that he did on this at the last drive-in, and he compares the kid in this to the kid from House by the Cemetery, Bob, which we all, you know, we made fun of, and the kid in
No,
this.
Bob wasn't as annoying. But to be clear, the kid
that's his job.
That's his part to play, and he played it well. Yeah. He's annoying, but he was supposed to be. So
yeah, he definitely was supposed to be, and that is a big part of this story is him driving this mother absolutely nuts, and just the mother never getting like during the movie, and that's what one thing that I think is so fucking incredible about this movie is where you really feel like the like anxiety that the mother has when the kid is going
Right.
nuts, where she like every time you think like, okay, I get a fucking second to breathe. The mother gets a second to breathe. We get a second to breathe. The kid is finally shut the fuck up. He's in his room. And then even when she's trying to pull out her vibrator, the kid comes in and just fucks everything up and just starts whining. And it's like, you really fucking like, you start going nuts yourself. You're like, this kid is fucking driving me nuts. I could only imagine how she feels. And I thought that was just something just.
Yeah, the movie did a good job building up
Yeah.
that.
The kid who plays
atmosphere.
Samuel, Noah Wiseman, just really knocked it out the park. I know, the shit like that doesn't always like. I'll be like, yeah, he's fucking annoying, but I try not to let it affect the movie because that is what he's supposed to be doing. You know what I mean?
Bob from House by the Cemetery.
No,
I'm just gonna,
they're totally different.
I know. I thought Bob was not as annoying as this kid, but once again, that was the kid.
you thought this kid was more annoying than Bob from House?
For sure.
What?
For sure. This kid, I would wring this motherfucker's neck so quick.
No, I just meant as an audience. I meant as the audience.
No,
because like I understand both Bob and Samuel as an audience member, but like I understand them in the story, but like the kid in this movie is better than the kid in this movie is better than the English dub of Bob and House by the Cemetery.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah. No, we're not comparing. I even said they're completely different. And this kid is a fantastic actor. Bob is just like is just a joke. It's just a meme to us.
Yeah, and really, and if you watch the Italian one, he's not that bad in the Italian one.
No, Joe Bob just makes a comment that people compare those two kids, and Joe Bob even says he's like, they are nothing alike.
So Joe Bob actually makes that comparison.
Right.
No. He says
people make that comparison,
but he says that he doesn't think that's a right comparison. He thinks that the kid is just doing his job, and that it's apples to oranges. They're absolutely nothing alike. I think Bob is just a meme that is a huge joke that we make all the time. You know what I mean? Bob? But this kid is Alistair. This kid is just doing his job, man. And that's where like you want to feel like how the mother feels. I think the mother is just the mother and son are just so well acted in this, man. It's just incredible. One of my only downsides is that I wish we got a little bit more of the monster. Where I think Darcy even says that too. That's like her only downside. I do wish we got because the monster looks fucking sick in this, and this is like there's no like lore on the Babadook. I believe Jennifer Kent created this. I think she asked somebody how to say the boogeyman in some type of language, and she just took Baba and added Duke to it. So this is basically, I would almost say this is like a made-up Australian boogeyman. You know what I mean? But I fucking love the look of this Babadook, man. It is so fucking sweet. I just wish we got a little bit more of it. You know what I mean? But from what Joe Bob says at the end, and I completely agree, I think it does make sense. And then when you look at it that way, I guess you don't technically need that much of it. But me being who I am, I love monster movies. I love shit like this. I would have just loved to see it a little bit more because I feel like you almost don't really get a good look at him ever. You know what I mean? The only time you do is when he's like coming from the ceiling, and it's kind of like that.
Yeah, that or the book, right? I think the book gives us more of a clear definition of him. And then what I think is genius about it, and I do think I agree with you. I do think that we need more of the actual monster in the movie, but at least we have that book to set up in our minds what this figure is like, looks like in so many different phases. So when it does pop up on the screen very briefly, our heads fill in the gaps, right?
Definitely. And it only had an estimated $2 million budget. It was filmed in Australia. It was filmed in an area of like Adelaide or something. Adelaide. And that was like an area of Australia that they don't normally film in. It almost felt like London, like a small town in London. You know what I mean? The way that it's very
Small town in
suburban.
England, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like like a small suburb, but it is in Australia. So I do love like the the town that they're kind of set in. You don't really get like a town, but just like the neighborhood that they're in. Um, and I even like they got the old lady as the neighbor, and the mother works at like a retirement home, and yeah, man, I just everybody that she like because when she goes to work, she has her sister watch the kid, and it's just like the sister hates the kid. She even says like, don't even give me she's like, how could you say that? And she's like, you fucking hate him too. You don't fucking give me no shit about it. You hate him too. And one of the big things about this is that the opening, I forget, the opening is like her kind of like falling, like she's sleeping and she's like falling into bed, and it's like her, I guess, reliving the car crash, because her son is 6 years old, about to be 7, and she's still living with, and she's like buried that her husband died while driving to the hospital to have Samuel, her son. So her husband died on the birth date of her son. So that's like a big thing that
Well,
the
that's why
son,
the kid never has any
the
birthdays.
son doesn't get to have his birthday on his actual day. He has to share it with like his cousin, that's on a different date, and the mother she just completely ignores it. She doesn't speak on it, and when it is brought up, she goes fucking nuts. Turns into a huge bitch, and she's just basically tried to bury it. She doesn't deal with her trauma whatsoever, and because of that, her not dealing with it, it's made her hate her son, and she definitely blames her son. You know what I mean? And
Subconscious.
subconsciously, yes. I'm guaranteeing she's thinking
Oh, totally,
if
because it's
I didn't
affected her relationship with her son. She's
yeah,
not close with her son because of
no,
it.
not at all.
And
she
her
even
son actually acts like his father,
mhm.
which is unlike her, and she
Right.
And
holds that against her son.
they make that comment all the time that he's just like his father. He speaks his mind. He does this, he does that.
Yeah,
And
I mean, the whole movie's about grief, and the Babadook is nothing but just a representation of grief
yeah,
and how they bring grief, how grief is getting into their lives through this book that
yeah.
probably she wrote because the book is unfinished, and then and it keeps on coming back even though she throws it
Yeah.
away. So
And then maybe she even probably put the book back together herself.
Yeah, somebody take that shit back together.
Yeah, and
right.
because
and she says right in the show that she's a children's writer. In the movie,
Yeah,
she mentions that to her cousin.
yeah. She said she was a magazine writer and she wrote children's books. And the book was hidden, and Samuel just finds it. Samuel was not supposed to find this, most likely.
Right.
And yeah, and it's based from what Joe Bob says. It's basically just giving a name to her grief and to like this dark side to her. That this dark side that wants to kill her, that literally wants to kill the dog, then strangle her son, then kill herself.
I did almost cut the movie off when he killed the dog, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
don't
fucking
think
hate that, man. Like, I would honestly rather have them kill the kid than the dog.
I
So as
know.
many people as you want, don't kill a cute doggy.
Scarface like, I'm turning this.
It looks like my doggy.
But you're right. Like, grief is a big part of it. I think there's layers that can go beyond that if you really wanted to dive super deep. But like,
oh yeah, well, I'd love to hear.
well, we'll get to that. But like,
the
cellar's a big part of it too, right? Because it is about grief, but it's mostly about, it's even more specifically about repressed grief. She's not dealt with it, right? So the cellar is like where all of his stuff is. She doesn't go down there. That's where the Babadook is, and at the end of the film, that's where the Babadook resides, right? Like the Babadook totally represents the memory of her lost husband, right? And the more that she is denying dealing with that grief, the more that it is appearing. And it's fracturing her relationship with her kid, which, I mean, we've all been through grief. We've all lost loved ones. We've all lost people very close to us, whether they were parents or whether they were siblings or whether they were partners or anything like that. Like we've all had loss in our lives, but we know that you gotta kind of like move beyond that, right? You gotta, but what I love about the end of the film is the Babadook is still there because, like, for instance, with me, I lost my mother and my grandmother, but my mother, that's a loss that's always with me, right?
Definitely,
And
definitely.
I love that about the end of the film is like they don't defeat grief, they don't
They just
defeat the
bury it.
depression, they just know how to handle it and control it a little bit better. Right?
I guess this movie didn't really get a big, wide release because in America they wanted Jennifer to change the ending to them defeating and killing the Babadook, and she said absolutely not, absolutely not. And she kept the ending with her keeping it in the basement and feeding it, and because that's a huge part. If you don't have that ending, you don't pick up a lot. You can still pick up some of that, but it's just it doesn't
Yeah.
hit the same, man. And it
But,
turns
like-
into just one of those stupid ass American boogeyman movies where they kill the boogie. And it's like you.
Yeah. I love what
Stupid.
you're saying about having to feed it too, man. Like that means that sometimes,
Right. It's just
and you'll feel guilty about it, right? But like
Yep.
sometimes, like I get really deep in on a night, like I get really deep in a loss of my life, and my
Right.
whole night that night is about like kind of revisiting that, or what? In a way, it's like it's feeding the Babadook, right?
Mhm.
Like you're never gonna not have those nights, but you got to have those nights to keep that at bay because it's
Yep.
hard, man. It's really hard.
Definitely.
I was knee deep in some esoteric Neoplatonic philosophy this last couple of weeks, and one of the things that I heard was never trust somebody who's never been through actual grief, right? Because then someone who's been through actual grief gets life more than somebody who hasn't.
For
Does
sure.
that make sense? Because to
Oh,
me
for
that was
sure.
rather profound. I don't
It's
know.
like somebody that hasn't been. They're just like completely unscathed, man. They just haven't been through life. You know what I mean? And a big part of what you were gonna, before I forget, I just wanted to say, because after she goes and feeds it, Samuel says like, how was it, and or or whatever, and she's like, oh, it was quiet, so like every day it was almost the way it was put is like today was a better day.
right.
Today was a better day. She didn't have, the monster inside her
Yeah, and
was
that's
quiet.
how it is when you're dealing with grief. You take it day by day.
Yep. Definitely.
Yeah, the thing I like about the movie is the kid is the way they switch it up throughout the movie. I mean, you start off hating the kid because he's fucking annoying, and by the end, you're siding more with him, and you're not siding with her as much because you see her unravel, and they flip flop it to where it's almost abusive behavior to the kid, and the kid is just trying to help her, like with the situation. So you see a complete turnaround on how they deal with the child from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie. They switch roles almost. I thought they did that extremely well.
That's a rather brilliant thing about the film too, right? Because it happens so subtly, and all of a sudden you realize, oh shit, this kid is like, you don't even realize it's been happening when you're watching it, right? And that's a really great moment in this movie is when that flip happens. And I think that's rather brilliant that they did that in an hour and a half. That was really cool.
Yeah, definitely. Great thing to point out too, Scarphead. Before I forget, since I feel like I've been leading the convo, I just wanted to kind of go around and just say, overall, because this was Scarpad's first time, and I know that you are a big fan of this movie, Robbie. So I just wanted to ask Scarpad, overall first time watch, what did you think of the movie, man?
Oh, I liked it a lot. I mean, I will admit it takes you about 20 minutes to get over that. I hate this kid. I want to see him die as quickly as possible. Because in the beginning, I wanted to see this kid die as quickly as possible.
Right.
And you get over that, and then the movie starts working on you on those other levels. So I like it a lot. I don't think this would be a movie I would watch a lot, and it's not really a movie that I'm going to come back to all that often, just because, it's one of these movies that I get the point of the movie and it does it very well. And I don't know if I need to keep on hearing and seeing that point. I'm not saying I never watch it again, but I don't think I don't feel a need to watch it like every year or whatever else.
No.
But no, I thought the movie though is an extremely well made and written movie, and no, I liked it a lot. And the movie earns everything it gives you throughout the movie. You know what I mean? It doesn't just they don't just lean on the monster. That's why I'm kind of glad he's only in it in snippets, because the monster is the monster could be real. The monster could just be in her head. It doesn't really matter, because the monster is just the essence of her grief coming through. So as long as you get that point, the monster has served its purpose. And it's got enough creepy, scary stuff in the movie to work as a psychological horror movie anyways.
Right.
So no, I liked it a lot. I thought it was an excellent movie. I don't know, does it remind you a little bit of a Hereditary, or am I saying that's a little bit different of a film?
Yeah.
Well, it's got a way different ending.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It's similar in aspects for sure.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think they needed the monster like a lot more, but I'd appreciate it a little bit more, just because I do think that it isn't in it a lot for that reason. But just me being who I am, and I just love the look of it, I would have liked to see just a little bit more, just a little bit. But Robbie, man, I pretty much know where you stand, but I still like to ask, just first time, maybe take me back to the first time you saw the movie and what you thought, and just your overall thoughts.
Well, what's crazy is that I do say that I'm a big fan of this movie. I had only seen it once before tonight, right?
Oh, really?
Before this review. Yeah, I watched it because it came out and it was on Netflix, and it hit real big. I remember that. Like, it was one of those movies that popped up on Netflix. Everybody was talking about it. Me and my partner at the time, we watched it, and we both really loved it. And at that time, I was like, yeah, this is like a great exploration on grief and the stages of grief and what it does. And this movie was rather brilliant, and I really, really liked it. And I kept saying, because my initial thoughts, like every time it would get brought up, I love this movie, but I never bought it. Like, I never bought this movie on physical media. They've done tons of steel books. They've done, and the movie is
yeah,
popular.
I think it's really hard that the second sight is like really rare to get now.
Well,
yeah,
the movie's kind of rather popular. I hear it talked about a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Whether it's like in person talking about horror movies, modern horror movies with people, or whether it's on horror documentaries or anything like that, right? But so it's one of those movies that I always had a high appreciation of, but never rewatched. So as soon as I saw it pop up on the March Madness list, I was like, yeah, I want to revisit that one and check it out again. And I watched it last night, even though on my socials it said I watched it today. I watched it last night, but whatever. I don't need to explain myself. But I watched it. I wasn't home, so I couldn't make a post.
Right.
But I watched it with a dear friend of mine and her daughter, and they were watching it for the first time. The daughter fell asleep because it was getting late, but we were all engrossed in the movie again. We were all like figuring it out, and then afterwards, I had a conversation, and then today we continue that conversation. This is a movie that, like, you watch it and you need to let it dwell within to really kind of think about it, or let it just kind of sit and ruminate, if you will, in your subconscious, and let it kind of fuel you the next day so you can put your thoughts together. So I'm glad I watched it last night, and it was able to percolate a little bit. Same thing happened to me today. I watched Mother for the first time because we're talking about it tomorrow night. And I need like 24 to 30 hours to like let that movie kind of sit in my head to really know how I feel. Babadook is like that, right? The movie is rather brilliant. I love the way it's shot. I love the Babadook itself, and the way that you do see the monster, even though you don't see him enough. I agree. But the way you do see the monster and the way that the pop-up book is crafted is very inspired by like German expressionistic films, like Nosferatu, like Vampire, shit like that. Like there's a lot of like, I wish they could have leaned more into that. Like a lot of I can't remember the director now who did The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, but there's elements of that in there. I wish they would have leaned more into that, right? So like basically what I'm saying is the second time I can be a little bit more critical, right? But it does stand being a very powerful, profound, and impactful film. And I agree with Scarpad. This isn't something I would watch all the time. It's not a fun movie, right? Because the movie, especially, I can't even imagine what it would be like to be the mother of a child and watch this movie.
Yeah.
Right? And see some of the shit. Like, I can't even imagine.
I guess a lot of mothers shit on it, like saying, "Oh no, mother would do that," and it's like Darcy kind of said, she's like, "Yeah, that's bullshit."
Yeah, but we've all seen it. We've all probably seen it at an early age from our own mothers. Yeah. We drive our mothers fucking crazy.
Exactly.
You know?
She's a single mother with no help.
You feel it, dude. You feel it. That's why that moment is so powerful in the movie, where she finally, unfortunately, has to drug him so that she can like go to sleep. And you get that shot of her falling into the bed. Interesting thing. That's the first shot of the movie, is seeing her like fall into the bed, right?
She sleeps
after all she wants to do is rub one out.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, but you feel it, like, and that's the brilliancy of the movie. Like Scarpad was saying, the first 20 minutes, you hate this fucking kid, right? And so what I was saying was like, the kid that played Bob, the performance not as good. The performance in this movie is great. As somebody, as an audience member with empathy for what's going on, yeah, you hate this fucking kid, right? You just like, shut the fuck up, let her get some sleep, right? And then they masterfully turn that, and now all of a sudden you're like, what is wrong with you? But it does go a bridge too far when they killed the dog, but I'm glad they did it. I'm actually glad they did it. They did it in Halloween. That was an homage to Halloween. Why are we forgiving of John Carpenter and nobody else? I'm saying I don't like it when animals die in movies either.
Me either. It's definitely a part. It's a big part though, because
nobody ever goes, Halloween's okay, but they killed the dog.
Right. I fucking hate that scene.
But I love the movie. It holds up, man, and it's got layers, bro. It's got layers.
Definitely. Yeah, because they kind of have to, because otherwise there's no kills in the movie. And you see the book, and you see the steps that the dog, the child, then she kills herself. So it's like, as soon as you see the dog get killed, you're like, oh shit, the kid's next. And that's to build that up, like, okay, she's going to try to kill the kid next. And
that's what's great. Some of the annoying qualities of that kid in the first act are his most heroic qualities in the third act, where it kind of becomes a little bit. I was at my buddy's video store yesterday. We were talking about this movie. And somebody mentioned this. They were like, isn't it fun how it kind of gets like Home Alone at the end?
Yeah, I mentioned that too, Gun. It's a demented Home Alone.
Yeah, because I was asking, I was like, is this appropriate for a 13-year-old? That's what I was asking. So I was like, I haven't seen it since it first came out, so I don't. Well, I think it was, and this 13-year-old had already seen Black Swan, so I thought like, then we're all good, right? Like, no, like I think that's genius at the film, where it turns some of the annoyances of the kid into his more heroic qualities. But it's annoying to her because it represents like her lost husband, grief she hasn't dealt with yet. This movie is packed with layers. And then you go beyond that, like the idea of like grief becomes depression. Depression, you invite it in, it literally goes into her, right? And all that kind of shit. Right. Then there's another interpretation. We were having this conversation at the video store. This is why video stores are important. We don't have as many. We have hardly any video stores anymore, but luckily I have one. And every time I go there, it's me and my buddy David, who runs the shop, and a bunch of other people there. And everybody that are there, they're cinephiles. They love movies. And in particular, they love horror, underground, like those cerebral movies. And we had this conversation, and my buddy David, that's why we need these video stores. But thank God for shows like PCP Movie Night, Dylan's Horror Show, Blood Splatter Chatter, we kind of keep that conversation alive. And then other channels we won't mention because they're not part of our crew. But anyway, but you know, like shows that do like really deep dives into movies and talk about cinema, man. Like that's a lost art to me, is the conversation of cinema. And that's why I love doing shows like this, especially about movies like this. But my buddy David goes, "Hey man, when you watch it, think about this. There is no Babadook, it's all her."
Yep.
It's all her. She's like Scarpat was saying, she's the one that made the book. She's the one that did this. She's the one that did that.
That's what we were going to say.
What's that?
That's what me and Scarpat were going to say. We kind of hinted at it, but we didn't get fully into it.
Hell yeah. Well, I didn't mean to, but that's what my buddy David said.
You're good.
And if the first time I watched it, I was like, oh no, it's like, it's grief, and it's a representation of this dark, you know, unaccepted, unprocessed grief. But then like watching it with that lens, you're like, oh yeah, it's literally the same theme, right? But that is what's kind of going on.
Yep.
Whether the Babadook is real or not, it doesn't matter.
No.
What does matter is like what's happening to this family. And thank God they made it through. Unfortunately, they had to kill a fucking dog. I hope they have a snowball too. Jesus. That was rough to watch. That was not. Here's the thing. We give Carpenter a pass for Halloween for the dog kill, but maybe it's because it doesn't hit me emotionally the same way. We're not like emotionally connected to that dog, I guess. I don't know. That really
Scarpat is, because it looks like his dog.
Oh, and this one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in Halloween, we're not as emotionally attached to that dog, is what I'm saying. So maybe that's why we give it attached, or why we give it a slip. But
I was gonna say, because you're not really emotionally attached to this dog.
I don't know, man. When that dog died, when I watched it last night, I was like, I almost wanted to look over at the people I was watching it with and be like, I'm so sorry to make you watch this movie.
Oh shit.
You can kill 80 people in a movie. I don't give a shit.
Right. Don't touch that dog.
I think it's interesting too how this movie has become like a pro LGBTQ movie, because Netflix has nothing to do with it, but Netflix put this in the pro LGBTQ section.
Really?
And now I was
wondering about that, because
it's a huge movie in the community, and there's nothing in the movie about it.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, because there's a steelbook I remember last summer, I think maybe during Pride.
That's what I thought.
It was like a Pride one, and I was think about it. And the only thing, because none of those elements are present in the movie, like as far as its thematics or as far as like its story or narrative.
That's what Netflix did.
I don't know, but maybe the director. Right. Maybe the director is a part of the community.
No, it's just Netflix put it in the wrong.
So there's no reason. Like it wasn't the director. It wasn't.
No. Netflix rated this as a pro LGBTQ plus movie. It became, everybody watched it in that community, and now it's a huge movie for them. And there's nothing thematically in the movie that.
Yay, Babadook gets blessing of director Jennifer Kent. It's charming.
Whatever. Cool.
There's an awkward silence there. Why was that? What was all of that, man? Like, what's going on there?
Oh, no, I was just reading. I was looking for something else to see if it said anything else.
I don't know. Maybe I always assumed that.
Yeah, Scarpat is right, though. It says, if you're asking seriously, it's because years ago Netflix accidentally misidentified the movie as an LGBT movie. If you're asking not so seriously, it's the hat and the flair for drama with the handmade book.
What?
That's hilarious. So that was a Netflix mistake? That's hilarious. Because I always assumed that, like, I guess the director must be like gay or bi or pan or something like that. I don't know. I don't know her personal life, so that's what I assumed. Because there's no thematics, there's nothing in the narrative about that in the film. Interesting. Well, it helped to find an audience.
People say because it's the Babadook's fashion, particularly the top hat.
Top hat is associated with gay people. That's come on.
That's very weird.
The Babadook's a classy fella.
Is Hellraiser 1 and 2 LGBT?
Why would it be?
They kind of are.
because
I mean, they don't really have those elements, but Clive Barker
I was going to
is a
say
member of that
Clive
community.
Barker is a
So
member
yeah,
of that community, and
Oh, I didn't know he was.
because of the huge S&M like vibe going.
Yeah, but S&M isn't strictly
those of us in the
in
alphabet
that
mafia
community.
love sex and love kinks. So maybe, but Babadook has none of that. Hellraiser has a lot of that. So,
Evan
yeah,
said,
Clive
well,
Barker's a gay man, so that's why
Yeah.
Hellraiser would count. Like Hellraiser should have the rainbow steelbook more so than Babadook or Babadookie, whatever it's called.
Yeah. Evan said, well, I wondered if it's all in her head. How can you explain why the little kid's going crazy and seeing the Babadook?
Because I think he's just
Acting out.
He's acting out, and he saw the book,
Yeah.
and he's taking it to heart.
That's his
And
interpretation of what's going on with his mother.
right.
Exactly.
Because
Well,
mother-
yeah.
But the thing in the movie, like I like to think that the Babadook is a real supernatural entity that is caused from this grief.
Right. Could
Right?
be too.
And so the one scene, if I want to get nitpicky, is she sees the kid being dragged up the stairs by nobody. Right? But then again, that could just be in her head. So it works on both ways. But yeah, the kid would be involved because the kid is it's about the kid's perception of his mother's descent into madness, which is because of 6 years of repressed grief.
Yeah.
And that's what happens.
That's the Babadook is like just like her evil version of herself that she's just you know.
You notice towards the third act of the movie, she's moving like it. She's moving like the Babadook, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I think that's a part of her like throwing up all the black sludge because she's letting go of, because, the kid at that point is like, Mom, I love you. Mom, you're stronger than it, and it's her kind of like trying to just let go of all that. And that's why, at the end, she, it's a day by day thing. And she's, got to feed the monster in her and that's inside her. And, some days are going to be harder than others. That's why she makes that comment like, today's been quiet. You know what I mean? And I think when she goes downstairs, I forget exactly what she says, but it like, what does she say to it? Like when she goes to feed it and she kind of like, she's like, I forget what she said exactly, but it's kind of like where she's like trying to like, where she's like, relax, like, and she's just like, she's trying to like not be attacked by it, but I think it's more of like a thing where it's like she's trying to fight that off and just then go back upstairs and have a normal day with her son,
his first birthday.
Yeah, especially because and then her, and then not let her, and that's actually that just said it because the whole thing of this is that her son's birthday is coming up, the death of her husband, and she's still imagine, every year, I don't mean to bring this up, but every year, like, with the day that maybe your mother passed, the day that my grandfather passed, those days always hit the hardest. And they're in our heads maybe every day, maybe a little less one day than the other, but that day, they're always in your head a lot more, you know what I mean? So, and I think that's definitely a big part of her
Absolutely.
trying to, and I think that's why all this stuff is coming. And, you've seen so many movies where it's like, the anniversary of my husband's death is coming up, and it's, it's always like that hard week or some crazy shit's going on, and that's a part of this whole thing. And she's fighting this trauma that she's just buried in her. It's not that she ever like, I've gone to, a therapist and I've been working it out. She literally says, I've buried this and I tried to forget it. I've tried to not talk about it. That's not a way to deal with it. Burying it makes it worse and it just festers up. And that's why she acts the way she does, because when the kid is driving her fucking nuts, it's just, she's looking like, I hate you. You're the reason why I don't have a husband. You're driving me fucking nuts. And if I didn't have you, I'd still have my husband. And even when there's those times when he sleeps with her like every night, they compare her to her husband all the time. That he's just like him. And he like literally sleeps with her every night. And he doesn't just like sleep. He's like all over her. You know how like relationships like you got your hand all over the chick. His hands are like in her hair, and his legs are all over her.
Yeah, he was grabbing some titty, I think.
And she like literally she pushes him off,
right.
And she turns her back always to him. She always turns her back to him and like curls up by herself. And she there's definitely a deep part of her that does not.
Here's the thing, and I think you guys will agree with me on this. I know Robbie probably will. That if they ever in their do a remake of Burial Ground, if they ever do, that kid would make a fucking excellent Michael. I'm telling you, he would be my number one pick.
He's still alive
For Michael. I'm telling you,
the
kid would be great. And this would be great as Michael in Burial Ground. Yes.
The kid's like, let's see.
Well, no, I mean, if they had made one back then, now he'd be a little,
yeah.
Michael, that guy who played Michael.
If he has the same condition as that dude,
right?
Well, he's probably like 20 now, so that guy was like 27, but yeah,
bro, that kid's like 16, 17 now, man.
Of an adult on a kid is sus to me. Well, yeah, I mean that's definitely a big part of this is that this lady is a little sus. You know what I mean?
Well,
she needs some fucking help. She has no help, man.
Exactly.
She's got her sister Claire, but at the same time, you got to understand Claire's point of view. This kid pushes her fucking daughter, his cousin, out that fucking treehouse. But like
the kid, she
was being mean to him.
Yeah, you don't have a father. You don't have, and just So she definitely was mean as shit. But does she deserve to be like pushed out of a fucking treehouse and almost killed?
Yeah.
So I bet YouTube or Netflix's algorithm was like sexual repression and childhood bullying, and Netflix was like LGBTQ.
Yeah. Dude, the Two Gun, she says some mean ass shit to the kid. Remember, how about when the stuff is like really full effect and she's going nuts, and he's like, "Mom, I'm hungry. Well, go eat a fucking handful of shit for all I care if you're so hungry."
Dude, and that's rough. That's rough to see. That's rough to hear.
Well, about it. Like she was mean to him, but she never did beat him or hit him.
But she's being abusive because she's losing time. Right, she's not taking care of the kids. She's not feeding them.
He stabbed her in the friggin' side and the foot
for good reason. Scarpad.
Because I always
she was gonna kill that fucking kid, man.
I always wondered if the kid had like autism or maybe ADHD.
The kid's fucked up because he's never had a birthday, and for 6 years of his life, his mom has never actually connected with this child because connecting with this child reminds her of her lost husband. She's never dealt with that. So that is a grief repression. That is a traumatic event that is then imprinted on the child. That's the point of the movie. That's trauma is generational. If it's not dealt with, right?
She won't let me have a birthday. She won't even let me have she won't let me have a father.
To be fair, this is not a new story. I mean, they've done tons of movies, tons of TV shows about fathers and or mothers. No, mostly fathers will be the mother that hate the kid because the mother died in childbirth. I mean, I've seen that, and it's a similar story to this.
Well, yeah, obviously
so this is nothing new. It's just
they do that in the newest Exorcist film, right? The
way they go about it,
they do that.
The way they go about this film is different.
A little different, but it's a theme that
obviously the theme is we've seen this theme before, but the way they go,
it's the theme we see because it's real.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a reason why themes like this that are used a lot. It's because they hit so hard and people can relate to shit like this. And it, well, it's mainly because all the problems in her life are directly caused by her son. She she knows it isn't his fault, but it's messing with her head badly. Yeah, I mean,
Because she
you
hasn't
know,
done the work to deal with it. She hasn't even accepted it, bro. She
No.
can't go downstairs. The whole movie is showing us that she cannot accept this. She cannot. Don't wear his clothes.
Right.
Don't bring out the picture. Don't go
Yeah.
down there.
And even the ending, I mean, she doesn't
that's why-
deal with it in the ending. She just buries it and puts it off for another
Well,
day.
and think about this too. We do see the Babadook more, but what does he look like? He doesn't look like
The father.
the guy. He's the fucking father.
Right.
So that's a part of her dealing with, you know, her trauma, talking to her dead husband, and he repeats.
And that's
a
when
lot.
she fully gets overtaken by it, right?
Yep.
Because he's like, kill the kid, join me, we can all be together.
Yep.
And that's the Babadook tempting her. That's her grief saying, kill the kid, kill yourself. That's the trauma, man.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah,
and you're right, Fable. The kid didn't ask to be born. That's the thing. None of these kids asked to be born, man. There's a lot of kids that have imprinted trauma already placed on them.
Yeah.
Right? It's terrible.
But you know, that's a story that they always say where, you know, they, like Scarpat said, they've told stories like this before where you know, or even like where it might be different, where the mother dies in childbirth, but the kid lives, and the father is a single parent, but he has this resentment because he's like, my wife died. They do it in Game of Thrones even, where Tyrion, his wife, the mother dies in childbirth, and the father hates Tyrion all his life because he's like, you killed my wife, you killed my wife. You know what I mean? So it's a very similar thing like that, where even though, yes, this person is innocent, they didn't do anything, but it's just in their head, like, if you were never born, my husband would still be alive. You know what I mean? It's just, and especially because she never deals with it. So that's just the head, the brain is a fucked up thing where it's like you think of every. I was just talking to Robbie where it's like I think of every possible scenario with shit. And it's like, that's what she's doing. It's just all of this stuff is festering and it's just building in her brain. And she's just fucking nuts because of it, because she doesn't have anybody. She can't even talk to her sister about any of this stuff. And she said that, you know, she even says, you don't even ask me about my day. You know what I mean? It's like, I always try to ask about your day. She's like, but you don't care. You don't come to my house. You don't do this. You don't. So it's like, she is truly alone. You know, she doesn't have anybody. And all she has is her son. And her son is not the person, you know, that she really wants in her life. You know, and he's driving her nuts too. So it's like she's got that resentment of him, plus he's just fucking driving her nuts. So it's like it's that double whammy where it's What's up, Billy?
Choking on a Sour Patch Kid, Scarpad. That's your new nickname.
Jelly bean.
Okay.
Sour Patch jelly beans.
Jelly beans, real good stuff. And she pushes away that guy from work who wanted to get kind of close to him, brings a kid the bottle and stuff like that.
Well, I think that too, because the kid even mentions like she won't let me have a birthday and she won't let me have a father. So I think like she just doesn't put herself out there. I don't think either. Where it's like maybe
she's embarrassed, right? When he shows up and the kid's acting out, she's embarrassed because she doesn't want people to see her in her life,
right?
Like her actual life that's going on, because that's her household is a reflection of her inner life.
She does have that one moment in the movie where she goes off on those entitled women there that talking about all their strifes, and she actually goes off
because
the one time in the movie she does that.
But that's because the girl brings up her husband like, oh, I'm so sorry. And that's why her sister says, she's like, you don't talk about it. She's like, if anybody even brings up his name, you go nuts.
Right.
And because she doesn't, you know what I mean? She doesn't want to talk about it. So that's why she does. She stands up for herself, but she does it only because that was brought up. And she's like, oh, you must have it so hard because you can't go to the gym. Because in her head, she's like, my whole fucking life is ruined. I don't have a husband, and this kid is driving me.
But that's
fucking
the thing.
nuts.
That's the thing that happens, man. She's not dealing with the grief, so it's not only giving resentment towards her son, but resentment to everybody else.
Exactly.
So then she self-isolates. She is self-isolating in this movie. there are tons of people reaching out in this movie. If you pay attention, you
Oh,
get the
yeah.
idea they've been reaching out for a while.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
That's
And
what I love. This movie has a
Yep.
baked in past to it, right? That you can feel. I really
Yeah.
like it.
They've definitely been reaching out for years, and they're just at that point where they're like, why? There's no point to reach out because it
Right.
doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
I
You
got
don't-
people in my life that are like in this zone, and you try to help them. At a certain point, you're like, it's only healthy for me now to cut it off, man.
Exactly.
Like-
I'm wasting my breath. I'm wasting my time.
Yeah.
And you end up kind of pushing that on them because they start worrying. They almost take on some of that trauma because they want to help you so bad, but you won't help yourself.
Yeah.
You can't
100%.
help somebody if they don't want to help themselves. It's like an addict.
You
You
can't
gotta-
invite
you
the
gotta
Babadookie into your own house.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell no. Hell no.
No, you're right though, man. That's what happens, man. That trauma starts spreading, and when that happens, like Claire and the dude from work, they're right. Cut it off, man, because
Yep.
you're just wasting breath. It's not helping, and it's sad because you don't want to see somebody you care about go through that, not be able to be helped or
Definitely.
reached, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and because the kid is also going through some trauma himself because, his mom, is got this side to her and, so they're both going through trauma, and
Yeah, think about it. For 6 years of this kid's life, all he's heard is your dad died because he was rushing me to the hospital to have you born.
Yep. And that's really it. And she don't nothing else can really be said about the dad because she doesn't want to talk about it, So that's all he probably knows about.
And
his
this kid
dad.
just wants to know about this dad, right?
Yeah.
Like I had an absent father, a biological father, a bio dad. I wanted to know so much about him. Like when you're growing up as a kid, you want to know. And when you don't have that opportunity, man, it can fuck you up.
Yeah.
Okay, Robbie, I'm your father. I've been trying to keep it from you, but
I know who my bio dad is. It's definitely not you, Scarpad. No offense.
oh, sure.
But we both got great facial hair, so yeah.
It's possible. Maybe you were lied to.
It could be. They could have lied.
I look a lot like my dad. So, and we both have great hair.
Come on, Robbie.
Still, my dad has amazing hair, and I'm like, I'm good for life.
Robbie, come sit on my knee.
Yeah, that's what I always like. Man, I'd be like, if I go
Come sit in
bald,
my lap,
it's
Robbie.
over.
Come on, I'll give you a
Oh,
big
you
hug.
owe me some child support, motherfucker, then, Scarpad. If you want to start sitting that my way, you're more than welcome to. Dylan changing his VHS tape. What's going on there?
The tape of that fucking loose tape is acting funky.
This is the tape that Dylan sent me a copy of King Kong versus Godzilla, and somebody recorded like 20 minutes of Scooby Doo.
You said it was like 5 minutes.
Well, 5-10 minutes of Scooby Doo.
Hey man, I just got a tape and it's not playing right either. It keeps fucking up. So
I put it in the fucking Scooby Doo's out. It's pretty funny.
hey, that's better than your Escape from New York tape that ripped.
Oh well, yeah. That's
How much?
fun.
I thought you said it was only a couple minutes. I put the tape in and I never
It's
saw
about 5
that.
minutes, yeah.
When it's not in the beginning, is it? Because I popped
Yeah,
the
it's in the
tape in and
beginning.
it was
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
I played the first couple of minutes. And, that's weird. Maybe because I usually pop a tape in for like a minute and
Well,
just
it's
to
because
make sure it works.
it's a Good Times tape, and Good Times never took the tab out. You're supposed
That's
to take
so
out,
weird.
so you can't record over it.
That's so weird. Yeah, but I guess because I have a tape that I didn't notice, but it had like tape stuck in the tab. The tab was ripped off, but they put tape in it and they recorded like an
I
old
got a tape the other
Nickelodeon
day. I got a tape the other day that
episode.
I got a tape the other day that had a beetle in it.
Nice.
Jesus.
This is the first time I've watched the Friday the 13th fucking VHS I have, so I'm glad to know that it worked. So
Yeah, I usually always try to test out my tape. Scarpad doesn't always do that because
No.
he's scared that they'll get fucked up. But I have a lot of Godzilla tapes that like I bought specifically so I can watch the dubbed version because I like to watch dubbed version. I don't, especially with the classic Godzilla movies. I want to watch. I don't always want to listen to the subtitles or read the
Don't the
subtitles.
Blu-rays have both?
No, Blu-rays only
Really?
have the
The
Toho will allow it.
Yeah. So you can only get the dub, I want to say, on the VHS or the
It's so weird because for
DVDs,
years in the
and the
90s,
DVDs are hard to get.
you couldn't get the fucking. Everybody wanted the real Japanese ones, and you couldn't get them. Now everybody wants the English ones, and they can't get.
Yeah.
All you
That's
get is
why
that one.
That's crazy.
the DVDs are like super fucking expensive. So the best way I'd say
This
to get them
is one of the
VHS.
best Godzilla movies ever made. King Kong versus Godzilla.
Which
Top
one?
shelf.
Which one
Oh, is that what you're playing back there?
Yeah, King Kong versus Godzilla.
So we have Candyman. Fucking what was it?
I got
Candyman
these-
2?
That's a good movie. He came from beneath the sea.
Oh,
Yeah,
this-
Ray
is good.
Harryhausen.
It's a great movie though. Sadly, it's good times, but
Good time.
the only other good time I have is this. But I wanna.
He's cross-eyed.
I have a better copy of King of the
Oh, that's-
Monsters. I need
Yeah.
to get a better copy of Megalon.
There is no such thing.
Well,
That
yeah,
movie-
just
That
just
movie was
one-
PD from the beginning, man.
just one that's not
Public domain. I don't think they made a good copy of it.
just one that's not a good times.
You want a
Is
good I don't think they made any that one good times. To be
that-
honest,
No,
with you.
I think there's one.
If you want a good copy of that, you gotta buy a DVD or a Blu-ray.
Oh, really? Maybe I'll have to buy one. Well, if it's not good, yeah, because that Good Times one doesn't look too good at all. But
No, the good time movies suck.
yeah. That's why I figured if I could get a
They got
Megalon,
good covers though. They do have good covers.
I figured if I could get a one that's not a Godzilla versus Megalon that's not Good Times, it'll still not look great, but it'll probably look better.
You talk about annoying kids, man. That movie has the most annoying kid in the world. Godzilla vs. Megalon. Oh my god, it's terrible.
Does it?
But hey, this is a great movie. Look at that. He's beating fucking Kong with his tail, man. Just beating the
love
shit out of him.
Godzilla vs. Kong is one of my favorites. I hate when they dub over a classic.
No, they should offer you both. They should offer you both.
No, I think he's talking. Are you talking about when they like record over a classic, or because I like dubs better? I always like dubs. Hey, what's up, Acres? Hello.
Yeah, the only Godzilla movie that has a good dub is the latest one.
Did you like Nightingale? Should she make Clayface? I don't think I've seen Nightingale. Have you seen Nightingale, anyone? But I'm super hyped for the Clayface movie because Mike Flanagan's going to be writing it. Who would make a better Hellboy, Kirk Douglas or Humphrey Bogart or James Cagney?
I would love to have a Humphrey Bogart Hellboy movie. That would be great.
Say what?
I would love to have a Humphrey Bogart Hellboy movie. That would be so fucking fun.
Pieces of movies. What are you smoking over there, man?
Yeah, you meant record over a classic. Yeah, dude. That's why you gotta be careful. Make sure when you
I would say Kirk Douglas would
see your
make the
tapes
best Hellboy.
that they don't.
You know
got
what it's
taped.
like in the 80s and the 90s when you're a kid,
Hopefully.
though. You're like, I know how to fucking record. I can record my fucking episode of Power Rangers over this tape.
All you gotta do is put a piece of tape over the.
Who
that
cares
with
about
Hellboy.
Lost World?
Yeah, I can't believe people will record over like real tapes. It's like you could just get fucking blank tapes so easily back then.
They were expensive back then, especially if you were a kid, man.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess if it was a movie that you like absolutely hated, but
Well, you get one of those ones and go to extended play and you can record 6 hours.
You pansy ass fucking youngsters, man. I was recording movies and TV shows on audio cassette. I had the entire Star Trek series on audio cassette.
I used to do that. My first one I did that with was Beavis and Butthead, dude. I
Well, that's a little
recorded.
later on.
I recorded all of it. Yeah, I know.
just
That's-
audio cassette.
That's why you might be my dad.
Well, there was no video
I'm
cassette.
sending you an invoice for child support back payments, by the way.
And that's why to this day I can say every line of Star Trek. Not because I watched them, because I listened to them forever.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
We all did that shit where you would record on audio
I grew
cassette
up
from
with
the
just
radio.
VHS.
You'd record your favorite songs on the radio and shit like that. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I remember you could do that, but yeah, I mostly just recorded a lot of VHS tapes.
Yeah, there was no VHS back then.
I wish I would have kept some of my recorded VHS, and if I knew that it had been so popular, I bet I threw away a lot of them because it'd been cool just to watch.
You could have a whole other YouTube channel just showing your old VHS recordings.
I would have had so many
Shit, I had a backup on my. I had a backup on my pictures and shit to audio cassette on my first.
I would have recorded I would have had recordings of all the Halloween movies, all the Friday. I would have had.
You guys probably don't remember loading in programs from an audio cassette.
No.
I'm old.
Favorite Babadook scene. Favorite Babadook scene. That's maybe when the mom says, "Go eat
some shit."
For all I care.
Hey, it's midnight.
Favorite fucking scene. That's rough, man.
Yeah.
My favorite scene is when she goes back to the book. She finds the book, starts flipping through it again. I think the book is very creepy.
I do like too when she goes to the book is so good, man. Just the way like you said, the way that they give you you can imagine how the Babadook looks so well because of that book. So they did such a great job. I'd be curious to see who did the artwork for the book. But when she goes to the police station to say like, "Oh, somebody's stalking me. They left this book," and then she's like, "Oh, I burnt it." But then she sees like the costume or whatever, like hung up, and then she sees like the hands, and then the cop is like hands turn like all black, and she. But yeah, that was a good scene too.
No, my favorite scene is when the husband's head slides off.
Oh, that is good.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's a rough one.
Which is evidently how he died in the car crash, which could be pretty traumatic.
Yeah. That makes sense too, why she's so fucked up if she witnessed her husband's head get sliced in half like that.
Right.
Yeah, that would be rough to see. Yeah, so I guess I've kind of dove into what I was gonna say. You kind of said what do you want to say what you think the movie's trying to say?
I think we kind of covered it.
I was gonna say I didn't know if you had anything else.
That was literally, I think, the first things we started talking about this movie. But yeah, no, that's what it's about. Repressed grief, how it is imprinted on this kid. Everything we were talking about tonight, man.
Whose favorite character?
Yeah, my favorite character.
I'd probably go the kid, man, because for a little kid to have some acting chops like that, he fucking dude. Between the mom and the kid, is so the kid. The kid's just younger, so I give him some.
My favorite character would go to the Babadook.
I don't blame you. Yeah, he killed it.
Yeah, this isn't the type of movie where you can have a favorite character. I don't think.
Oh yeah, that's another. No, definitely, because they're all great. I love the scenes when she's dozing off.
The dog would be my favorite character.
How creepy it is. Yeah, when she's watching TV, I love like the commercials and shit with the Babadook, like kill him and all this. Yeah, there's some good stuff in there. Yeah, I love when she's dozing. That's a good one too. My favorite character is Amelia. Yeah, the mom is so good. If you had a raft and had to get something to a sick relative, what movie character do you hire to row the raft with you? It is 6 hours of rowing and loud. From
The Terminator, obviously.
Yeah, that's definitely who I would go with too.
I'd probably hire Popeye the Slayer Man from the movies just watched a few minutes ago. Like that guy was jacked.
He was jacked. So I guess let's get into the rating, and then we can do a little show and tell to end the show off.
I don't really have much.
Anybody in the chat? I only have like 2 things to show, or I might have. No, I had maybe like 3. But show and tell will be quick. Anybody in the chat? Make sure you guys throw your rating down below so we know what y'all thought of the movie. Y'all pretty much covered the theme of the movie thoroughly. Yeah, I thought so. I just didn't know Robbie always nails it too, so I wanted to make sure he didn't leave no one.
This movie's about don't fuck up your kids because you can't get over your shit.
Right.
Boom. And don't kill your dog.
Yeah, I received summer rental special discount recently. Yeah, don't fuck with the dog. You want to kick off the rating for us? And remember, it's out of 5. Anybody in the chat, it's out of 5.
Yeah, I'll kick us off. I do agree that there needs to be more Babadook. There needs to be more of the monster. It could dive a little bit deeper in, but I do love it for what it is. It's not something I'll watch all the time, but it's rather profound. I'll give it 4.5 out of 5 slips. That's what I'll do.
Oh yeah, 4.5. Solid. Solid as hell. Scarphead, you there?
What do you rate it, Dylan? Oh, there he is.
Scarphead, what do you?
Not gonna me.
What do you rate the movie? Probably gave it a 4.5.
Oh, really? I'm gonna give it a 4. I'll give it a 4. Yeah.
Yeah, that's solid. Yeah, I wish they used the Babadook a little bit more. It's not a movie I would watch all the time, but I do watch it. I'd say I'd watch it like every 3 to 5 years, and I think that's perfect because I've probably seen the movie. Came out in 2014. This I would say would be maybe my 3rd or 4th time watching. I want to say maybe I think it's probably 3rd or 4th, maybe even 4th. So it's one I can watch because every time I watch it, I feel like I forget a few things. So it's like perfect to watch. Not watch it every year, but maybe like every 5 years or something, 3 to 5. I'm gonna go 4.25. I'm gonna go 4.25. I think it's a solid ass movie. Really, mother and son are so damn good. And I love the ending. I love that the director stuck to her guns and she didn't sell out just to get a wider release.
She could have been a sellout.
I'm so glad you said that, Evan, because I forgot to bring that up too. You guys know that the looks of the Babadook is based off of Lon Chaney's character in the lost film London After Midnight. Thank you.
It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. 100%.
I forgot to mention that. And that is just awesome because that's a movie that I've wanted to see for so fucking long because I've always remembered Jiddu showing me the look of Lon Chaney in that because he was a huge Lon Chaney fan.
Somebody will find it eventually.
Yeah, it's my dream in my life is that somebody finds that goddamn movie before I die, man.
Seriously, because the look of him is just so fucking awesome, dude. That has been one of my favorite looks. So 4.25 from me, 4.5 from Robbie, 4 from Scarpad. Evan gives it no doubt 5 slips. I love this movie, man. Modern horror classic, no fucking doubt. Acres of Movies says 4 out of 5, 8 out of 10. Two Gunning says 4.0 slips. Fable says 4 slips. Jaguar says 4.5. I really like it. Agree with Dylan. I'm proud of Jennifer Kent. I hope she gets more movies to make. I do too, man, because she absolutely nailed this. And, like we mentioned, it's not we've seen stuff like this before, but the way she went with this movie was absolutely unique and incredible. Oh, I guess she did Nightingale. I didn't know that. I'll have to watch now that I know she did that. I thought, what was it that Akers brought up Nightingale for?
Probably because it was the same director.
I thought, okay, yeah. But then, she said, should she make Clayface? I thought she was going to make Clayface because, like I said, they're doing,
I don't know.
Writing Clayface. I'm going to have to watch it. And then I think the short story that she did for this is called Monster. They didn't call it the Babadook.
Yeah, it's Monster.
That's 10 minutes long. I got to watch that. So, yeah, I'm going to have to check out that Nightingale, which that has a 7.3 out of 10. It's a little bit higher on IMDb. Babadook is 6.8. So, yeah. With all that, man, I'd say we got about an average score of 4.269.
Nice.
Screen Factory calls you, they call you and say, make our 2028 schedule. Oh man, that's tough.
They'll still be putting out 4Ks of all the movies they've already put out in 2020.
Right. No, I definitely want a 4K Day of the Dead, but we'll never get it because I heard they lost the film, or like the film that they use for the Blu-ray
Oh wow.
can't be done on 4K. So the Blu-ray is all we're ever gonna get for Day of the Dead. Damn, that's one.
I
I'd
would
have
say
to
a Nightmare on Elm Street box set.
Yes.
It's coming, supposedly.
like a Friday the 13th box set with great artwork.
Yeah.
And I wish they would. And then I would say sell us a fucking box set that we could use for the Halloween 4Ks too.
There are people out there making those. You can buy them.
Yeah, I know. It'd be cool. It'd be cool to get a Candyman box set too. Even though we only got 3 movies, but it would just be like Scream Factory did a Critters box set.
4. There's 4.
Well, 4 now.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, 4 now. True. I forgot about that one. But yeah, there's definitely some solo movies I could think of, but I'm just off the top of my head.
Evan, you're right. Warner Brothers is saying they're doing a Nightmare box set, but Scream Factory would do it better. Or at least they would have done it better 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe we should give it to Vinegar Syndrome or Kino or some shit like that.
I would love it if Scream Factory would do like a Tales from the Crypt, but I'd rather that go to Kino, honestly. Tales from the Crypt box set. Since they remastered all the Night Galleries, I'd rather have Kino do them. Because Night Gallery was a mess on that DVD, and Kino fucking slayed their Blu-rays they did, and then like remastered some Twilight Zone seasons. Even though
Twilight Zone looks great. The Blu-rays of Twilight
Zone. No, not the original. The 80s one.
Yeah, 80s won't look any better than that because it was created on video.
Yeah. But it'd be nice if they could have tried. Maybe they could have done something, but most likely not.
No, they had to do that for Star Trek: The Next Generation was done on video. They had to go back to the original camera negatives. It was extremely expensive. They would never do it for
sure. That Deep Space Nine is ever gonna get it, but I doubt it.
Probably not. They may remaster eventually for TV show stations, but I don't know.
You like that horror anthology movie that has the Emilio Estevez part where he's in the arcade? I do like that. What the fuck is that movie called though? I have it. Isn't it called Nightmares?
Nightmares. Yeah.
Is that the one? Yeah.
That's the one with the girl gets the guy coming after her and the hitchhiker or whatever it is.
Yeah, this one right here.
That was a good movie. I saw that in the theaters when it came out, believe it or not.
And there's one with Lance Henriksen on here too.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah, that is a good one.
All right, who's going for a showing off shit?
You got your stuff ready? I gotta grab my.
Yeah, I'll do it real quick. Picked up. Let's see. A DVD. I picked up this box set. It's one of these cheapy. This cost $14. Actually, wasn't bad. 60 Terror Theater on DVD. It's got some actually decent movies in here. Carnival of Souls, La PD, Atomic Brain, just a ton of stuff. That was a pretty good deal. And then I picked up the Blu-ray of Deep Blue Sea from Arrow that just came out, a nice box set. It didn't go for the 4K. I went for the Blu-ray on this one because I hear the CGI is a little wonky, so it didn't look that good on 4K. The movie, this is one of the Kino cult lines. I'm collecting them, even I know I haven't seen the movie. This is a movie called The Godsend that came out in the 80s. I don't know. Have you seen this, Robbie?
I've not, but I heard of it. I think I have it on DVD, so yeah.
Yeah, it just came out in the Kino cult line. I've been collecting those. This is a guilty classic from the 80s. I like Bellstorm. It's a 3D movie. I don't know if you've seen this one. They just released Godzilla versus Biollante. Criterion did on 4K.
I gotta pick that up. Does it have the dub on it?
I don't know. Probably yes. No, it does not.
Okay. I heard that was a super big. That's what I got playing in the background right now.
This is the Kino version of Reindeer Games in
Jesus
4K.
Christ, really?
I got this cheap.
You got a 4K of reindeer games? That's awesome.
Everything.
This is the single edition of Trick or Treat. They released a nice box set that Dylan picked up.
Yeah. And they did
And
a beautiful arrow
in
type
4K. And I like the movie, but I don't like it that much. So I just went for the standard version.
I love that artwork they did though for that one. I
This-
honestly kind of wish I just went with that one, but I'm
I
glad.
think this is still in stock, but it took me 6 months to get this movie from Criterion and Amazon. The Criterion version of Firewalk
They
was
just
made.
announced 4K for it too.
No
They
doubt.
just announced,
As soon
but
as I buy
would.
something, they do it. But
But
that's all right.
I was gonna say if I could get that on Blu-ray, I'd be fine. I need to get the TV.
I got
show.
this Region 2 because I like the cover of Land of the
That
Dead.
cover's sick, dude. I gotta start back up on Twin Peaks because I watched the first few episodes and it's good, but it's very weird.
From Umbrella, the hardware.
Sadly, I'm not like very.
4K.
I'm not super versed in David Lynch's.
This is a
work.
very wacko Australian movie.
The biggest David Lynch movie I think I ever saw was his Elephant Man.
The movie that made F. Murray Abraham, Amadeus in 4K. I haven't watched this, but I wanted to watch it, so I picked up. It was cheap. The same night movie that just came out. Picked up season 2 of Castle Rock. This is only $30. I picked this up on 7 seasons of Ray Donovan.
I got mine too.
And finally, I went back, and Robbie will be glad to hear. I don't know if Robbie heard this now. I recanted on my Invisible Man movie. I rewatched it. I'm going to say I gave it a 4 stars after I rewatched it, even though I said I hated that movie.
Oh, even Scarpad can grow. That's awesome.
Even I can grow. And I said, hey, if I can do that to something I really hated, like The Invisible Man, let's give Strange New World Season 2 another shot. God, I don't know.
Don't go that far.
We'll
Don't
see
go
if I
that
get.
far.
We'll see if I can get past the musical episode again, but we'll see.
Hey, if while you're doing that, you might as well watch Section 31.
What, Section 31?
Is that what it's called?
No,
Which one?
I'll never watch it. I heard it was horrible. And then I picked up one of Robbie's favorite movies from this year, the 4K, The Wolfman.
Man, I ain't even seen that movie, man. Don't say it's one of my favorites. Don't throw me under that bus, man.
This is
Okay.
a cool steel book though.
All right, that's it.
You want to go, Robbie, or me?
Yeah, I'll go. I got very few things. The 2 newest issues of Scream magazine I have. This one has a great article about Salem's Lot, Revenge of Frankenstein, Jaws 2, and what's really cool is there's Adrienne King right there on my VHS, right? It's got an interview with her, and then the one right after that has a nice Michael Berryman Hills Have Eyes thing. The Devil Rides Out, Prom Night, and it's got a large article about Deep Blue Sea, Scarpad. So you should pick this up because it's like most of this issue is about Deep Blue Sea.
Is it really? Yeah.
Well, it's the 25th anniversary, which makes me feel old because I worked at the movie theater when
Man,
that movie came
I
out.
fucking love Deep Blue Sea.
The other thing I have, because I haven't picked up any new movies or nothing, but yo, I got this Lady Death Masterpieces, Art of Lady Death, slipcover hardcover, sent to me by Brian Polito. And it's just a bunch of cool Lady Death art. And if you love horror, you need to be reading Lady Death because it's sexy, it's metal, and it's horrific. So I'm very happy to have this. Thank you, Brian and the team, for sending me this sexy, horrific rock and roll shit. So there you go. That's what I got. Station.
Hey, Robbie, are you reading this? I just saw these today, and I downloaded a bunch of these. Are you reading EC Epitaphs from the Abyss? These covers are
Those
friggin'
covers look so cool.
fire. And
The covers are good. I don't like Epitaphs. I didn't like Cruel
Really?
I didn't like Cruel Universe as much, but I like Cruel Kingdom a little bit better.
these
EC
covers are
Comics to me
freaking-
means great artwork. You get that on the covers, not so much on the interior.
The interior's not bad. The interior's not bad, though, to be fair. It's not terrible.
Yeah, but it's not like Johnny Craig,
I mean, come on.
Al Feldstein. You read those old school EC comics, Harvey Kurtzman.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're talking about Wally Wood. I can't compare these people to that.
No, it's not bad, though. And the covers are fire.
Speaking of Deep Blue Sea Acres, Arrow just released Deep Blue Sea on 4K, and they did a Blu-ray box set. But I was hearing the 4K. Me and Scarpad actually were hearing that the 4K, because like the old CGI effects at the 4K looked a little wonky. So I ended up, plus just to save some money, and I've been watching my Blu-rays just way more. It's been a little bit harder to watch my 4Ks. So I ended up picking up this beautiful 4K or Blu-ray Arrow box set, and I have not watched it yet. I might actually pop it. I might end up watching it tonight. I love that Arrow's doing these slip covers now on them just to give it a little bit more.
To be fair, I kind of wish they would give you the Blu-ray with the 4K, but
yeah, because then I would have got the because it was like $10 more for the 4K. And it's like you're just getting the 4K. If I would have paid the 10 extra bucks if I got both discs.
Plus, it's Deep Blue Sea.
Exactly.
Let's be honest, y'all. Okay.
the movie is a fun guilty pleasure.
I love Deep Blue Sea. It's a guilty pleasure. Jaws and then Deep Blue Sea for me when it comes to
the fact that they made 3 of those movies, though, is a little disquieting.
Yeah. It comes with the lobby cards, of course.
Right.
But I figured, if the fucking CGI looks wonky, I might as well just get the Blu-ray and save the $10. So I love Deep Blue Sea is one of my fucking favorites, dude. So, and then it comes with the little booklet, like always, and then a poster. So I love Arrow, so I figured. And if I didn't, Deep Blue Sea has just always been such a guilty pleasure for me. Otherwise, I probably would have just passed on it. Especially after hearing that the CGI was a little wonky. So we'll see. Even if it looked that bad, I might maybe end up sending it back. So I'll probably have to watch it. Scarpad actually sent me, because they did, which I was so happy about, the one. What was it? You got a couple like replacement discs. So he sent me this Umbrella Razorback 4K replacement disc that he got. Looking for Mr. Goodbar from Vinegar Syndrome 4K, and this is the one I was super excited about because this is a out of print one. It's a Region B second sight disc, the Blair Witch, which I think that it was just like an audio thing or something, that why they had to put out the replacement.
Audio, the color grading, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it don't matter to me. I'm just gonna be super excited to watch it. I do wish I could have got they would have replaced the special features disc but obviously this had to have if it says disc 1, there must have been a disc 2 with it. Well, but I can't wait to be able to watch that.
There was like 3 discs in that thing.
I was Scarpad was showing me pictures like, oh, I'm watching Star Trek the motion picture, and I went to go watch mine, and I was like, oh, I didn't want to go in the basement. I was like, I was going to watch it in the living room. I noticed my 4K doesn't, all the Star Trek movies from 2 to 8 come with a 4K and a Blu-ray, but the motion picture only comes with a 4K disc. So I ended up picking up the motion picture on Blu-ray so I can have it on Blu-ray and 4K.
Yeah, I know what they did with the 4K in that one, but the Blu-ray looks better than the 4K.
I was gonna say it was only $10, and plus you even said the Blu-ray looks better.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, man. It's just I usually like to own 4K and Blu-ray with stuff, and plus it was super cheap, so I figured why not. And then like you said, because you showed me this was only like $25. You got the entire Ray Donovan complete series with the movie. So that was cool. And then Scarpad also sent that 60 Fright Films Terror Theater, which this has some good stuff. Like he was saying, Horror Express. You know,
Yeah, I'm sure the copies aren't state of the art, but I'm sure they're
I think
watchable.
there's like 4. I think there's 3 disc sets, so there's 12 movies on each one. So what you get, 4 movies on a disc, but they're older movies.
And they're
so
shorter movie and it's public
I was
domain.
gonna say, so that helps.
They got some wacko stuff on there.
Yeah, so we'll have to definitely check some stuff out on here.
Hey, don't answer the phone. That's a good one.
Yeah, the best of the worst.
Who's got the worst movie? Mando's Hand of Fate.
Yeah, but I think, what did you say? It was like $13. So
Yeah,
60
$14.
movies. I mean, that's still just a cool little box set to have. And I had a few VHS.
This motherfucker said he only had 2 things, Scarpad. Do you remember
know.
that?
Well, I forgot I had a couple tapes, man.
Yeah.
That I had that I didn't show off because they came in Monday. So I got Escape from. I didn't have anything to show last week, so that's why I got Escape from LA.
Oh,
Now
greatest surfing scene in American cinema history.
Yeah, I gotta get.
You want to talk about some bad CGI?
Now I gotta get it. Now I gotta get Escape from New York, which is a hard one. I got The Faculty, which I love. It comes with this little horror sticker.
Dope.
Great cover.
Didn't they just release that on 4K? I think they did.
I think they did, and I gotta pick that one up because I only own it. I only own this on DVD.
I got it on Blu-ray. It's good enough for me.
Yeah. And I got these super cheap, and I just love the covers. So I shouldn't have done it, but I got it from the same seller, so I was like, fuck it, I'll grab them dumb cheap to save money on shipping. Let's get the movie 1. Plus, I've never seen all of them. I always just see Scary Movie 1, and he had all 3, and I was like, he's got Scary Movie 3.
Well,
I always love these covers, man, so I thought that'd be cool to have.
Yeah, but there's 4 scary movies, huh?
Yeah, but the 4th didn't get a VHS.
Oh.
Only the first 3.
It's like the Scream movies, just like there's only the first 3 are on VHS.
Yep, I have the first 3 on VHS too. And another one to knock off the Universal Monster list, I got the Invisible Man.
Nice.
I was so happy to find this because I've never seen this, especially because I'm trying to get this artwork. I want like this, the classic poster artwork. And yeah, that same seller also had these, which I believe has the original like Star Wars movie, because I have like the special edition.
No, I don't think so.
Star Wars.
Turn around. Nope.
Really?
Nope. The original had a CBS Fox logo on it.
I just did have CBS Fox.
Yeah, no, that's a New Hope.
Well, it says Star Wars on it. It doesn't say.
I know, but it's still.
Wait, you talking about this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, mine just says Fox.
That Scarpad sent me this actually back in the day. So heck yeah.
I think that's the original. I have to look at it. I'm not even sure about that one.
Yeah, but they both have the same artwork. But yours mine says Fox. Yours says CBS.
Right. Plus, the original ones were in clamshells, believe it or not.
Right. Well, I know this isn't like the original. Like this isn't the first thing.
No, but I'm saying it's not. It's a New Hope. It's not. It's not the original without the updated.
If you look at the difference in the logos, Dylan, on the front. Look at your logo. It's centered. Look at mine.
Yeah. Well,
it's
yeah, but
yeah,
just because this would have been a different printing. But I still, though, the first time they did the remastered effects are the special edition.
Yeah, that's not until like what, 97, something like that.
Yeah, and this tape came out. I think this says 92.
Yeah, that's these ones.
Yeah,
you had to put it in to see.
Yeah, I know, that's the only thing, and I'd have to look up and see. I hope it does. Even still, I do like the artwork.
This is the special edition right here, man. So you got the original cut.
I have the gold ones. Yeah, these were super clean, but If not, that fucking sucks if I have to track down the CBS ones.
I
You
think
just have
those are not special
like that?
editions.
Those are really hard to get, the non-special edition ones.
But the
Yeah, I
special
think-
edition ones are nice. I got the widescreen ones.
Yeah.
That's the silver.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I got the gold ones. I like the gold. I would like the way the gold looked better, honestly. But yeah, I would rather have this widescreen. But I just love the artwork, and these are still wrapped. They're open, obviously, but they're still wrapped. These were super clean, and I got all 3 for 10. So that's why. But I hope
Here's the original non-special edition. If you want to show me real quick, there you go. It's the
That was the
VHS
one
everybody
I
needs
had.
to have. So there you go. It's embossed.
I love the artwork on this one. Damn, yeah. I hope. But wait, it says CBS Fox right here. This one doesn't, though. This one just says Fox.
It's hard to say. You'd have to put it in, be able to
This one
tell.
says That's weird, though. This one says CBS Fox and Fox, but the first one just says Fox.
Just put in Star Wars and see if Greedo shoots first. That's all you gotta do.
If Greedo sure, and this one says CBS Fox
See
too.
if Han Solo.
I'm sure that none of those are special editions.
If Han Solo steps
No,
on
yeah,
fucking Chewbacca's tail, you know it's not.
I don't. Well, that was all. I did want them for the artwork, but I was mostly buying them because the artwork plus they were super clean. But I also wanted them because I wanted the original cuts because I've never seen the original.
Yeah, but see, in the original cut of like Return of the Jedi, if you get the first original cut, Leia's topless in it.
No,
That's the original cut.
that'd be nice. What great artwork, though, man. But yeah, I'll have to see. That's weird that these all say it because these all came out. These all say 92.
It's not a special edition, then, man. You're good.
No, I know, but it was just weird that like 2 and 3 they say CBS Fox on the back, but this one just says Fox. So that I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, as long as they have the same cut, that I don't care if the thing is to the side. But it looks like they had these 3 movies and they came in a box set. So it would have been these 3 movies with the same artwork, but they came in a box set. And last but not least, I finally got Halloween 3, and it's not the fucking cheap ass Good Times tape, which people try to sell for fucking insane money too. I think I paid like $5 more, and because I wanted the MCA. Plus, I love the art. I like the artwork better. I would like to get the Good Times one day, but
Good time.
if I was gonna get any, I want it. And the guy sent it in a protector, so
A VHS condom.
so happy. So yeah. Sorry, I know that ended up being more than I said, but I forgot.
I already have 3 things. 35 things later.
35 things. Shut the fuck up, Mister. You fucking.
But I never said I only had 2 things. I always said I got a few things.
Scarpet said, "I'm going to be quick," and then went 20 minutes.
I was quick.
I did only have 3 things because originally I only had these 2, and then those couple discs that are, and then
it didn't even show the new Lady Gaga CD.
But then I forgot that I had tape that I got last Monday after the show, so I figured I'd show them. Don't be hating, fucker. Don't be hating. I sit on here for like an hour, let you show off the shit that you got yesterday. This motherfucker shows off.
Well, that's Robbie, what we asked you last week. Lady Gaga or Charlie XCX? Which one?
I don't even know what the second person you said was, so I'll go Lady Gaga.
What the hell, man? You're not hip.
No, I'm not. Now you got Dylan showing off CDs. What's going on, man? We got to wrap this show up.
I'm not showing. I was putting my tape back.
Let's wrap this mother up.
You putting your tapes back?
Hey, you saw my Halloween 4 and 5 I got, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
So what we do next week? Piglet?
Next week, we're to end March Madness. We're going to be doing In the Mouth of Madness.
Oh, we're not doing Piglet?
No.
Fuck.
You're showing that on Discord, motherfucker. In the Mouth of Madness is an easy one. We've both seen it a million times.
It's a great movie too.
It is.
I did it on March Madness a few years ago. Super great. Such a great movie.
Yeah, I figured, because we had 5 shows where normally we'd probably do 4. I figured, we'll end it off with an easier one. It's a great movie, but it's just one that we've seen a bunch, so I figured it would just be easy to end it off with.
You know, we did that movie last
week. Do
I
March
don't
Madness
remember.
Seems so right with In the Mouth of Madness.
I think I must be old because last week's movie I don't fucking remember at all. I don't remember what it was about.
You did Magic last week, didn't you?
No, that was a week before that. We did Bliss last week. I honestly don't remember it at all.
Oh man, I wish you were there, Robbie. Because no, we did Magic last week.
Oh, which week did we do Bliss? Week before
the weekend before, dude. I wish you were there for Bliss, Robbie, because I needed fucking backup. Because
I said what I said about. What was the movie about again?
It was about an artist that was, and she was going through a dry
movie.
spell, and then
that fucking movie
starts doing drugs doing this new drug called Bliss to try to, but it was so good, man.
It wasn't that good.
You gotta watch. Yes, it was good.
No, it wasn't. I already gave it 2.5.
Scarpad's a hater because I guess he never partied. The guy grew up in the fucking 70s.
I dropped more fucking tomato dots and fucking acid than you fucking ever know.
So
I dropped a lot of acid on my foot, man. I burned my foot when I dropped acid a lot.
I never dropped acid, but you should understand then. The movie.
You ever see that movie, Robbie, Bliss?
No, I haven't.
It's a good movie.
Go watch it and tell me what you think about it.
And there's tits in it too.
Yeah, a little bit of tits. 3-way. That's what made the movie terrible.
It's directed by the guy who did Christmas Bloody Christmas.
Oh God.
Oh, that's a great movie.
I knew. Yeah.
That movie had 25 minutes of fucking arguing in it too in the beginning.
Bro, shut up. You just
annoying fucking people.
I think in the show.
You just didn't like it because the guy. You didn't like it because the guy was eating that hot ass chick's ass.
I have no problem with eating ass.
Was that the night where he didn't like to talk about eating ass?
Yep, that was it. Because he goes to town on that ass. And Scarpad was like, "Oh, I can't be here for this."
I never said that.
I don't
eat ass until a dog.
Eating.
I'd rather lie and eat a dog's ass.
How do you show movies on Discord? You just share. You watch a movie and share your screen.
That's right. We watched Altered. You ever seen Altered States? We watched that last week. That was a great movie.
Yeah, that was a good one.
You see that one, Robbie?
Yeah, great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're Scarpad.
William Hurt.
Scarpad's always showing movies on Discord.
So I showed one good one, and that was a little higher than I'm used to because I'm more in the Popeye area.
That's what I'm saying, man. I'd been interested to hear Robbie's thoughts on Bliss. I think Fable watched Bliss because he was in here when we talked about it. I love that movie, man, and it's one that you don't hear people talk about.
They're embarrassed.
I would have loved to have you on that one. I should have told you about it because you might have been able to make it. I don't know. You might not have been, anyways, but yeah.
See, the best thing about it is we all don't have to agree on whether we like something or not. Well, some of you like some things.
No.
So you know.
That's not what I'm saying. You have to always
agree. I'll give it like a C.
What?
I didn't say it was terrible. 2.5 is a great score.
I'm just messing with you.
Right in the middle, but a 5. That's half.
I'm just saying. I would have just been curious what Robbie thought, and Fable said, yeah, he dug it.
There was no toxic zombies up there. That
best scene in the franchise you like the least? What do you mean? What franchise? Man, you ask these questions that really make me think.
You come up with these questions, man.
It's too late to think right now.
With picture of what director? What would you put in the word director? I'd have a picture of my boy John Carpenter.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That's a good one.
That's a good. I'll go with that too.
What do you? So you're doing what tomorrow? And does Fable have a movie Wednesday or Tuesday?
We're doing on PCP movie night. We're doing Mother. Darn Aronofsky.
I saw that once.
Is that the one with Debbie Reynolds and
that Jennifer
Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem. And
that.
Fable is doing Old Boy on Tuesday night.
Oh, okay.
The old one or the new one?
I gotta try to watch
The old
that.
one.
I've never seen that, and I'd be
The old boy or the new old
the
boy?
old one.
The old boy. So Mother and Old Boy, and then Verno, I think, is doing The Invisible Man 2020.
Oh God.
Oh, Scarpet. You should
Yes,
ask
you know
if,
that show.
Scarpet. You should ask if you could jump on. Scarpet's a newly fan of that movie.
A new fan.
Oh man, I love Gangs of New York. Like a Stray Dogs.
Did they
version.
kill a lot of dogs in that movie? I remember that. But
What
what
would you
movie
say?
did they kill a lot of dogs in?
All dogs go to heaven.
That's true. Isle of Dogs, they killed a few in there.
Oh man, I love Isle of Dogs.
Cujo, of course. Dog bought it.
The Babadook.
Babadook, the dog got it.
Halloween.
I don't remember the dog dying in Halloween.
Yeah,
Oh,
Michael
yes, I
kills the
do.
dog.
Oh, that's right, the German Shepherd. Yeah. Yeah, dog always gets it.
Yeah, they
You
go-
rarely ever see a cat get it, except in Vacation there.
or
Christmas Vacation.
um,
That cat had 9 lives. He used all of them up.
what was it? Two Evil Eyes.
Oh, yeah. Realize, yeah.
Any Italian? Well, yeah. No,
That's why all the Italian movies, the cat always
I
gets
was gonna say in American movies the dogs get it. In Italian movies the cats get it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
So
why? Because pussy make you crazy.
yeah, that's for sure. Michael Myers fucking ate a dog. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He ate the dog, too.
And they killed a cat and reanimate her.
You don't see the cat die though, so it's different.
No.
You see him come back to life.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to try to watch Old Boy because I've never seen it.
I
I'd be
don't think
curious.
I have seen it.
Man,
Doesn't the new
I've
old
never
boy
seen the
have James
I've never
Jones,
seen either.
Thanos in it? Isn't Thanos in the new one?
And the remake,
I never saw that one either.
I've never seen either. But I want to watch the original. So, anything you want to throw out there, Robbie? Anything you want to shout out before I
Robbie just wants to get the fuck out of here, man.
I could tell.
No, I'm tired as fuck. dude.
That's why I said, you want to throw it? You good?
I'm good, brother.
Come on, Robbie. We'll jump on Discord. We'll watch some fucked up movie. Let's
No,
go.
I gotta work in the morning.
Come
All right, guys. Well, we'll let
All right.
Robbie get to sleep. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. I hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you next Sunday for In the Mouth of Madness. And peace out, y'all. Thanks again.
Thank you.